Hi and welcome to Titan Info TV SK channel. My name is Syed. Here I am with the latest news for 17th August 2023. This was all. Saudi Minister discussed investment opportunities in municipal housing project with heads of Chinese banks. Minister of Municipal Rural Affairs and Housing Majid Al Hogel met in Beijing with number of Chinese bank heads to discuss investment and development opportunities in infrastructure project in the municipal and housing sector in Saudi cities. Al Hogel reviewed the heads of the Export-Import Bank of China, the China Development Bank, and the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, Saudi Arabia's plans and program to provide housing scheme and raise the sector quality. This also included the master plan for building technologies and project sustainability in addition to financing and refinancing program from bank to facilitate housing development. The minister also discussed joint cooperation opportunities and exploring various financing models for infrastructure projects in the kingdom. Inflation in Saudi Arabia declined to 2.3%, the slowest in over a year. The annual inflation rate in Saudi Arabia declined for the second month in a row to 2.3% in July 2023 compared to 2.7% in June, marking the slowest pace in more than a year. Inflation in Saudi Arabia continues to decline since the beginning of the year when it's recorded 3.4% in January, according to the data released by the General Authority for Statistics. The report showed that the rise in prices is mainly due to an 8.6% jump in the price of housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels, and a 1.4% increase in the price of food and beverages. Saudi Arabia vows consistent attention to education sector. Saudi Arabia has pressed endeavors by the United Nations to unload more than 1 million barrels of oil from a floating tanker in the Red Sea, awaiting a massive environment disaster and potential hazards to maritime safety. The United Nations announced on Friday they successfully managed to empty the tanker FSO for floating off the Yemeni port of Hodeidah. Following a cabinet meeting on Tuesday, Minister of Media Salman bin Yusuf bin Ali Al Dosri said Saudi Arabia, which has been one of the leading voices in calling for action on the tanker, appreciated the effort by the UN and the coalition to restore legitimacy in Yemen. Crown Prince and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman chaired the weekly cabinet session held at Salam Palace in Jeddah. China's defense minister warns against playing with fire on Taiwan during Russia meeting. China's defense minister Li Shangfu on Tuesday warned against playing with fire when it comes to Taiwan in a veiled jab at the United States as he addressed a security conference in Russia. According to Xinhua news agency, speaking at the Moscow Conference on International Security, Li said attempts to use Taiwan to contain China would surely end in failure. Iran Foreign Minister Abdullahian to visit Riyadh this weekend. Iran Foreign Minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian expected to pay one-day visit to Riyadh during this weekend. Abdullahian will hold talk with his Saudi counterpart Prince Faisal bin Farhan, according to well-informed sources. The Iranian Foreign Minister confirmed in a statement issued in Tehran on Tuesday that the coming days will witness the exchange of ambassadors between Saudi Arabia and Iran. In the coming days, our ambassador will go to Saudi Arabia and the ambassador of Riyadh will come to Tehran, he said. Arab ministers' political solution is the only formula to resolve the Syrian crisis. A group of Arab ministers underscored on Tuesday that a political solution remains the only option in ending the Syrian crisis, according to a statement issued after a gathering in Cairo. The participant underscored that a political solution is the only formula to resolve the Syrian crisis, expressing hopes for resumption for the constitutional path towards that goal, including holding the upcoming meeting of the Syrian Constitutional Committee in the Sultanate of Oman before the end of this year in coordination with the United Nations, the statement said. Saudi Arabia's crude production at 9.96 million barrels per day in June following OPEC plus cuts. In line with the output cut decision of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, also known as OPEC plus, Saudi Arabia crude production stood at 9.96 million barrels per day in June, according to an industry report. United Nations envoy says ICC should prosecute Taliban for crimes against humanity denying girls education. The International Criminal Court should prosecute Taliban leader for a crime against humanity for denying education and employment to Afghan girls and women, the United Nations Special Envoy for Global Education said. Gordon Brown told a virtual UN press conference on the second anniversary of the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan on August 15 that its rulers are responsible for the most egregious, vicious and indefensible violation of women's rights and girls' rights in the world today. To push green mobility, Cabinet approved Prime Minister E-Bus Seva. Seeking to enhance green mobility, the Indian Union Cabinet on Wednesday approved PM E-Bus Seva for augmenting city bus operations, under which priority will be given to cities having no organized bus service, Union Minister Anurag Thakur said. 10,000 e-buses will be deployed on public-private partnership model in 169 cities. Infrastructure will be upgraded in 181 cities under the Green Urban Mobility Initiative, he told reporters. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India greatly benefited from Vajpayee leadership. PM Modi on August 16 paid homage to BJP stalwart Atal Bihari Vajpayee on his death anniversary and said India greatly benefited from his leadership. He joined President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar and many members of his cabinet and leaders from different parties in a prayer meeting at Sadai Vatal, the memorial of the former Prime Minister. A Delhi court has allowed Bollywood actor Jacqueline Fernandez to leave the country without its prior permission, modifying bail condition in a 200 crore money laundering case lodged against her and Alec conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. The court directed her to intimate to it as well as the Enforcement Directorate at least 3 days before leaving the country instead of taking prior permission. Indian Cabinet approved 7 new railway projects with an outlay of 32,500 crore. The Union Cabinet on August 16 approved 7 new railway projects with an outlay of 32,500 crore. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said the proposed project will help increase the existing line capacity, smoothen train operations, reduce congestion and facilitate ease of travelling and transportation. Former Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti invokes Lord Ram, says Jammu and Kashmir natives still have some faith in Supreme Court. PDP leader and former Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti Wednesday invoked Lord Ram and his Raghu clan to say the promise made by Indian to Jammu and Kashmir native in 1947 was on trial in the Supreme Court, in which fortunately they still have some faith. The Jammu and Kashmir People's Democratic Party leader, while speaking to media on the Apex Court launch, said the matter the Supreme Court was hearing pertained to the people of India. Indian Supreme Court launches handbook to combat gender-based stereotypes. Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud on August 16 announced in an open court that the Supreme Court has published a gender stereotype handbook, flagging words, phrases which judges lawyers should avoid using in order, judgment, pledging submissions, etc., and the alternative to be used in place. The Chief Justice said in the handbook is not meant as criticism of the work so far done by judges and lawyers. Saudi cabinet meeting chaired by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The meeting of the Saudi cabinet under the chairmanship of Crown Prince and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman has been held at Qasr Al Salam in Jeddah. According to the Saudi presidency, the cabinet reviewed domestic and international matters and issued made several important decisions. The Saudi cabinet approved the recommendation to establish an insurance board. Similarly, the establishment of National Health Research Institute has also been approved. The Saudi cabinet has reviewed the preparation for the start of the new academic year. The cabinet has expressed satisfaction over the successful organization and result of the Islamic conference held in Makkah. Saudi ambassador meets caretaker Prime Minister Qatar, thanks Saudi Arabia for economic support. Caretaker Prime Minister of Pakistan Anwarul Haq Qatar thanked the Saudi government for its continued support for the economic stability and development of the country and said the Special Investment Facilitation Council will lay the foundation for speeding up foreign investment, especially from Saudi Arabia. According to a statement issued by the Prime Minister's office on Wednesday, Nawab bin Saeed Ahmad Al Malki, the ambassador of Saudi Arabia, met caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Qatar. The Saudi ambassador congratulated the Prime Minister on assuming office and conveyed good wishes and congratulations on behalf of custodian of the two holy mosques, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and the people of Saudi Arabia. Caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Qatar said the Pakistan and the Saudi Arabia has historical and deep relations. He thanked the Saudi government for its continued support for the economic stability and development of Pakistan. He especially mentioned the large number of Pakistanis working in Saudi Arabia and requested the Saudi government to provide them with all possible facilities. Appreciating the vision of the Saudi leadership, the Prime Minister said the Saudi Arabia can always count Pakistan as its reliable partner. Pakistan Justice Jamal Mundakhal said solve political cases together instead of bringing them to courts. The Supreme Court of Pakistan has asked the Lahore High Court to decide by August 21 the intra-court appeal against the interim bail order of former Punjab Minister Parvez Ilahi. The Supreme Court has said that if the High Court does not decide on the next hearing, the single bench decision will be restored. On Wednesday, a three-member bench headed by Justice Ejazul Hassan heard Parvez Ilahi petition. The Additional Advocate General appeared on behalf of the Punjab government and said that the intra-court appeal against the decision of the single bench of the Lahore High Court is being heard in the High Court. Petition in the Supreme Court of Pakistan, the Election Commission should be ordered to hold general election in 90 days. Challenging the decision of this Council of Common Interest to conduct a new census in the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court Bar Association has requested that the highest court of the country order the Election Commission to conduct the general election within 90 days. In a petition filed by the Supreme Court Bar Association on Wednesday, the court was told that the decision to conduct a fresh census to the Council of Common Interest meeting would cause delay in the general election in the country. In the application, the Lawyers Organization of the country top court has taken a stand that the purpose of calling a meeting of the Council of Common Interest a week before the dissolution of the National Assembly and seeking approval to conduct a new census in delay the elections. Free elections in Pakistan willing to work with caretaker government. The US State Department has said that the Pakistani watchdog are ready to work with the Prime Minister and his team, especially as they prepare for election. During the briefing, Foreign Department spokesperson Vedant Patil said the Pakistan will continue to partner on issues of mutual interest including economic stability, development, security, free and independent election, democracy and rule of law. That's all in today's headlines. Keep watching TTN Info TV SK channel by subscribing and do hit the bell icon to receive notification and more updates.